Boundaries #2. Hey, Shery. I'm
Hey,
heading
Beth.
out now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really love this place. It was great.
Good.
It was so great being here. I'm so glad I met you. I just feel really close to you. I wanted to get your phone number and give you mine before I left.
Okay, well, I'm happy to give you my phone number. I don't always answer my phone, so I just want you to know that up front.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll just leave a message. But listen, you know, we were talking about that movie, and I think there's another one, you know, coming out soon, and I just wanted to really, you know, give you a call Saturday or maybe even Sunday. Maybe we could go out to that movie, and it just would be, it would help me a lot with my socialization, ADLs, things like that.
So going out to a movie would help you with, explain that to me. I don't know what socialization ADLs
you know, it's just, I feel really comfortable with you,
Mm.
and I'm so glad that you're going to be my friend, and I just think it would be really helpful if you went with me to a movie, and, you know, I'm just looking forward to, you know, growing a friendship here.
Well, that sounds good. I mean, I'd like to make more friends myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always like going to movies.
Oh, we could do something else. What do you like?
Well, I guess, you know, like just going out for coffee, you know, periodically works for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of a homebody when I'm not here.
I'll come over for coffee. I can bring some coffee. I've
Mm-hmm.
got some great coffee. I got it from the co-op, and it's just really, it's a different kind of coffee. I've never had it before. It has a little hint of licorice in it. It's really good. You'll love it.
Well,
What time do you get up? Are you a morning person? Do you like coffee in the morning? Or do you like it like in the afternoon? I could come over in the morning.
do you mind if I'm really honest with you?
Sure.
And I don't mean this to you particularly, but being home is kind of my alone space.
Mm.
And so, like, the reason I said I'd love to go out for coffee is because for me it's like home is a place where I just am alone. I spend a lot of time with people during the day, and
So you isolate.
I don't look at it that way.
Huh.
For me it's just sort of, I do my meditation, and this is sort of a space where I can count on being alone. So
Oh.
I don't often invite people over. It's just kind of how the way
Oh.
things have worked out.
Oh.
But you know, like going out for good coffee, I love good coffee, so that would work for me.
Well, would you ever want to come up? Would you ever come over to my house for a cup of coffee?
I don't know. I mean, we could see how it goes. I mean, you know, like I can't predict what's going to happen, but
Well, I guess I'm a little bit like, I'm confused about who you guys are then. I mean, like, are you staff? Are you friends? I thought you were peers. So, like, I just am kind of confused about what our relationship is.
and like for me, what's the difference between peers and friends for you? If there's
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was just friends with mental illness. That's what a peer was.
And so what appeals to you about that kind of friend?
Oh, you've been there, you know what I'm experiencing, you can show me coping skills that you've taken, you know, you've learned because you've been in bad places, and that we could hang out, and that if I acted weird, you know, if I got really symptomatic, you wouldn't freak out like another friend that doesn't have a mental illness might, because you would know what was happening.
That's so interesting. I mean, that's how I think about peer support, is just being able to be there for each other around certain phenomenon, and, you know, being willing to spend time around something that we share in common, and just find other ways of talking about it. And that's kind of what I do here. And I'm happy to do that with you kind of when the timing is right. I guess for me, friends is a little more something that I build over time, and, you know, it's like, I guess one of the things that I got really clear about in my own process with friends and building up sort of a community was that, I don't know, I mean, like for a long time all my friends were peers who just talked to me about mental illness, and I just talked with them about mental illness.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a one-size-fits-all kind of conversation. And I got stuck there, and now I guess I feel like friends are people I can, you know, talk about anything with, and it doesn't have to do with our problems, or it doesn't have to do with anything to do with mental illness necessarily. I mean, hopefully with friends I can still talk about anything, but like I don't want it to just focus on.
I think I got to tell you something here, Shery. That's what I want.
And how do you?
But and since I mean, that's what I want, and you have this community that might not have a mental illness, and I, Beth, want to be one of those people in your community that is, I don't want to be Beth in this community that just is about mental illness.
So you want to build a community of friends that have different interests other than
I realize
mental
that's
illness.
exactly what I want, and if you would, I don't want to feel like, the only people that I can relate to and feel comfortable around are people with mental illness.
Yeah, so what have you done to sort of, who are your friends, who have you started to establish?
I don't have,
Yeah, it was like that for me, it was kind of one person at a time.
I don't have any friends. They're all, I mean, they're just all peers, they're not friends.
Did you find that, you know, it got to be much easier talking about problems and illness with people? And so that's all your friends sort of ended up being...
Yeah, and I just kind of only have a memory of what it was like to have a life.
And I got to tell you, I had to really work at it to, you know, to sort of, you know, for a while it was just like finding, well, what am I interested in, and, you know, what can I talk about? And I still feel really awkward, you know, because I'm so used to talking about illness.
How did you find out, like, you were interested in yoga?
Yeah.
And where do you...
What do you do, how do you even find out about that? I had heard about some yoga teacher, and I just kind of hit it off with her, and that was where I met a few people, and sort of started there. But
did you go by yourself?
I did, actually, but I sort of knew about somebody. I mean, I kind of knew her from the neighborhood, and so it was a little bit easier just to go. But, you know, I guess to build up new kinds of friendships, I had to honestly practice, because it was scary to talk about other things.
What if you mess up and they really hate you?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, so you might want to think about the kinds of friends that, you know, you...
Can I just say I really appreciate that you're not treating me like I'm mentally ill.
Well, yeah, I guess I just don't see you that way. And you know, it's these kinds of conversations for me that lead to friendship, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate, you know, like, that you're wanting to stretch out beyond that whole peer support kind of just localized community. And,
yeah.
And I also appreciate that you know that it's hard, because it was at least, maybe it's not hard for everybody, but it was hard for me to sort of get out of that.
You know, the other Shery that had your place used to always throw policy at me, and she always used to just say that she couldn't, you know, get with me after hours because it was policy.
I think sometimes people just, they get uncomfortable of hurting people's feelings, so that they use it. I mean, I hate to use excuses as a way of getting out of my own discomfort, but, you know, people get scared.
That's really interesting.
They don't want to hurt your feelings, and
they just say that's policy.
yeah, so that it seems like it's true for everybody, and, you know, I honor that, but I trust you enough to...
I just appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks.
Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Peace.